The incompetent way to make money in Crossout. Number 6. Doing the sums. In my last video, adding value, I was talking about crafting for profit. But one of the problems with it is doing all the sums. You need, because of the market is so variable, so player driven, you need to check practically every time, is it worth my while to actually craft this thing? Could I end up in a position where I'm trying to sell this thing and I would have made more money just selling the resources I used to craft it? So by actively doing something, I'm down. I've lost money on the deal. It's not doing the sums that takes the time, it's looking up the values. How much does this resource cost? Click, click, click. How much does this resource cost? Click, click, click. How much does this resource cost? Click, click, click. Now I add them up and compare them, click, 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 with the going price, click. Who's got time for that? I don't. There's only so many hours I've got left in my life, and I don't want to spend it clicking around the user interface in Crossout to find out the value of resources. But don't despair, there is a solution, and it's called crossoutdb.com, as we can see here. Dead useful, these people. Thank you very much, Zcore and Stiffy, for making the website and then hosting it, or they asked for donations, fair enough. Which makes me a bit confused. All rights reserved by Gauging Entertainment. Well, obviously Crossout makes these values, these numbers available as an API to outside websites, but is this an official Gauging website, or is it approved by them, or is Stiffy and Zcore just covering their back because they fear being sued by Gauging or something? I don't know. Who knows? Whatever, it's still a valuable resource for me and you. So let's look at the little boy £6. That's what we were talking about in the crafting for profit video. But what's this? Here's a useful number. Cost 34.20. That's the cost of all the resources. Ding, 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 and the renting the bench. Don't forget renting the bench. And it's the cost of the resources at their highest offer to sell, which is the one you buy first. No, highest offer to buy, lowest offers to buy. I get this confused every time. This is the lowest. It's the low price. It's the price that'll take you your time. If you say, yes, I'll buy that, please, it will take you a while because you've got to wait for someone to actually sell it to you. So what you're offering to buy at, it's the lower of the two values. So it'll take you a while to get the resources at these prices, but you compare that price with the price you can sell it at, and you get less money selling a little boy than you do selling the resources. Right, we don't want to craft a little boy. Okay, let's look at crafting a landing gear. Now I selected this because it's the highest price of any equipment on the blue as of a few minutes ago. So what we're going to do, if for instance you'd earned the resources by going into battle, you want to compare this number, which is what you could sell them at, which is the lowest offer to sell those resources at. So if you sold them, it would take a little while, but you'd get the best price. And you compare it with that sell price, because that's what you can sell the landing gear for, and that's what you can sell the resources for. Of course, there's a 10% tax for using the marketplace, but those are the numbers you can compare. But that happens very rarely, to be honest, because in an hour you can craft a blue. In an hour you can get from battle 200 scrap, tops, really. That's if you're really going for it. And it takes 450 scrap to craft a blue. So you're going to end up buying your resources if you're crafting to sell, crafting for profit. So you want to consider this number. This number is the price of the resources if you bought them at the highest offer to buy, which is the low price but takes the time to get the resources. You've got to wait. So that number versus this number. Oh, that is the resources plus the minimum bench cost. I mean, the cheapest hire you can get of the workbench. Don't forget that. And then you compare it against this number, which is selling it minus the 10% tax. And in this case, 33.80 versus 39.30, that's still a healthy profit of 5.5. So with that knowledge, you go, right, I'll go ahead and make it and hope the sell price hasn't changed too much in an hour's time when I've made the landing gear. Or if you're a bit more forward looking and you've got a bit more resources put by, you go, aha, right, I've got one in stock, I shall sell it and then I shall make a new one to replace it with, and I'll have made a profit compared to, my replacement cost me this much, selling it got me this much. Marvellous, all well and good. And now, for blues, this works fine. All the materials, your scrap, your copper, then the white equipment. It's all listed, all priced up for you. Same goes for purple, really. All the materials are listed, all the prices are listed, whether you're buying them instantly in this column or you're buying them cheaper, but it might take a while before you get sold one. Unfortunately, it doesn't split up the blue instantly saying, or rather, it does, but it doesn't put the numbers in. It tells you what they cost. It doesn't tell you immediately what it would cost to craft the improved radar, only what it would cost to buy. But you can't have everything, can you? But it's still very helpful, and the same goes for orange and yellow stuff that you might make. So it's all very useful. Unfortunately, that has led to an increase in demand, and their website can only cope with so many requests. So at the moment, quite frequently, you will see this page, which means they're a bit busy to service your request. But don't despair, hit the reload button, and sooner or later it'll come up, and all that information will be yours to hand. Very handy indeed. Thank you, Zykor and Stiffy. Does something else, mind you. I'll just look in the clarinet here. Poof. Which is very useful. Shows you the prices over time. Now these are the prices, the offers to sell and the orders to buy. And it tells you what they do over time. Not so much use in a clarinet, is it? Let's check. What are we at the moment? 10% off 396 gives us 357. So you could make a slight profit buying and selling these. Well, selling them short, but not an awful lot. And generally speaking, equipment tends to buy and sell quickly, which shrinks that gap, that profit margins considerably. So not so much use. But if you were, say, considering investing, putting your hard-earned coin into some material, then waiting a while and then selling it when the price has gone up, well, this is dead useful because it tells you how the price varies over time. It defaults to a day. You can see 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, all time. And if you choose a smaller value, you can scroll back and look at things in detail over all the records that are available for how much people are willing to sell it for and how much people are willing to buy it for. Not as useful as knowing what it actually sells for and what it actually people actually bought it at and managed to sell it at. I mean, just because the offers to sell are up here at 1,362 doesn't mean anyone actually bought it at that point. But then Crossout doesn't make that information available, so Can't blame Zico and Stiffy for that one. That's purely down to Crossout. But all in all, a very, very useful site if you want to make money at Crossout. Well done, Zico and Stiffy. You get the dangerously incompetent thumbs up.